One day you will realize this. Nothing was blocking you. Your mind just never learned how to stand still. There is a quiet crisis happening inside millions of people. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't announce itself loudly. But it destroys lives slowly. It's the inability to think clearly for long enough to change anything. You sit down to focus and your mind runs away. You try to decide and 10 voices interrupt. You feel pressure but no direction. So you wait. You wait for clarity. You wait for confidence. You wait for the right time. And while you wait, life keeps moving. This is not laziness. This is not lack of intelligence. This is mental disorder, not illness, but disorder. Thoughts out of place. Attention scattered. Energy leaking in every direction. You live inside constant mental noise. Plans start strong and die quietly. Motivation comes fast and leaves faster. You know what you should do, but you don't feel anchored enough to do it. So you distract yourself. Endless information. Endless opinions. Endless comparison. And confusion becomes normal. You stop trusting your own judgment. You ask too many people. You overthink simple decisions. Deep down, you feel something dangerous growing. A fear that maybe you don't have control over yourself. That fear is not weakness. It is awareness knocking on the door. Because the truth is brutal. An undisciplined mind cannot build a disciplined life, and no amount of talent can compensate for inner chaos. Here's the reality no one warns you about. Your mind will not protect you. It will follow whatever you allow repeatedly. Every thought you entertain becomes a tenet. Every emotion you indulge becomes a pattern. Every excuse you repeat becomes an identity. Mental discipline is not about fighting thoughts. It's about choosing leadership. Someone is always in charge of your thinking. If it's not you, it's fear. It's habit. It's other people's opinions. Most people don't lose because they lack opportunity. They lose because their thoughts are unmanaged. A scattered mind cannot commit. A noisy mind cannot believe. A reactive mind cannot lead. This is why clarity feels rare. Clarity requires dominance over attention. And attention is currency. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Mental discipline means you decide what deserves focus, what deserves silence, what deserves no response at all. It is the ability to sit with discomfort without escaping, to think one thought fully, to hold one intention without dilution. This is why disciplined thinkers appear calm. Not because life is easy, but because their inner world is ordered. They don't panic under pressure. They don't chase reassurance. They don't collapse under uncertainty. They have trained their mind to obey, not emotionally, but structurally. They don't wait to feel ready. They act because they decided. Decision is the highest form of mental discipline. The moment you decide and refuse internal debate, confusion dies. Most people negotiate with themselves endlessly. Maybe later. What if it fails? I don't feel like it today. That inner negotiation drains power. Discipline ends the argument. It says, "This is happening." End of discussion. That's inner authority. And inner authority changes everything. If you don't control your mind, it will quietly design a life you never wanted. Stay with me. Now listen carefully. You don't need more information. You don't need more motivation. You need a new internal identity. From this point forward, you are no longer someone who reacts. You are someone who commands. You do not obey moods. You do not chase feelings. You do not explain hesitation. You decide, and then you move. Even when it's uncomfortable. Especially when it's uncomfortable. This is how inner authority is built. Not by confidence, but by consistency. Each time you override mental resistance, your self-image upgrades. You stop seeing yourself as confused. You start seeing yourself as composed. And once that identity locks in, discipline becomes natural. Your thoughts align. Your actions simplify. Your life stops feeling heavy because chaos no longer lives inside you. You become still, while the world remains loud. That stillness is power. Mental discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect made visible. Choose it daily, protect it fiercely, and nothing will ever control you again. Subscribe for daily mindset mastery.